Shelley Archambault is on the board of several companies, including Verizon, Okta, Nordstrom, and is the former CEO of Metric Stream, and she joins me now. Shelley, I know it takes time for change to take place, but if you bear in mind, let's just say for the point of this, the starting gun was fired or the promises made after George Floyd's death, are you satisfied with the progress that's been made?
If you look at overall, Richard, and first of all, thanks for having me on. You can't say that you're satisfied with the progress that's been made across the board. I will tell you, though, that there has been good progress made at some companies. It's like anything else. Things happen, companies make promises, some actually move forward with executing and stay on task, and others don't. Other priorities come up. So the key here is not just to make the commitments, but to make sure that you're actually sustaining and following through on those commitments.
Dare I suggest that in many cases, it's lip service over execution?
It always starts with verbal promises. And we saw, many companies made verbal promises. A lot of companies wrote checks. But frankly, to make an impact, it takes more than writing checks. It takes actual execution. And there are companies that are doing it. For instance, Verizon. Verizon, yes, wrote checks, tens of millions of dollars donated towards helping to drive economic ability and access. But they've also launched an SMB incubator program, right? Accelerator program to actually help small businesses grow and thrive. And half of the participants are companies that are run by people who are Black. Nordstrom is committed to $500 million by 2025 to make sure that goods and services come from Black designers, creators, or owners and operators, right, of those companies. And right now they're ahead of plan. So the key is you can make an impact, but you actually have to put plans in place. It's just like executing anything else. Right. You want to grow revenue, you have to have a plan and execute on it.
But we're talking about change at several different levels, aren't we? The supplier chain or the supply lines. You're talking about employees at the lower level that can work their way through. You're talking about employees in middle management. And then you're talking about the board, because the leadership comes from the top down. And I wonder, I'd have thought we'd have seen more change at the top.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Between, roughly, if you look at the 2018, from 2018 to 2008 rather to 2019, roughly a little over a decade, the percent of Black directors rose 0.5%, from 3.6% representation to 4.1%. But from last year, from basically that point to now, it's grown an additional 1 whole percentage point, from 4.1 to 5.1%. Which means there actually has been gains. Think about it. In 1 year, we grew as much as we had in a decade, right? Okay. So there is some positive movement.
You're on the board of some big companies, and they have the agendas are full when you all sit down. Are you a troublemaker on these boards? Or do you sort of politely say, Chair, can we look at this? Or Chair, or do you thump the table sometimes and say this isn't good enough?
I think it's important for all board directors to show courage and use their experience and their background to help the company execute as well as it can. I'm fortunate. I actually serve on boards where this is a topic that has been in the conversation since before George Floyd. But the key is not just to make it a topic of conversation, but to actually weave in the focus of diversity, both from an employee, a supplier, customer, the whole bit, into the actual strategy. When it's part and parcel of the strategy, then it becomes something that determines metrics that board directors look at, that companies look at, that employees look at. It becomes part of the measurement system, right? All of that. You have to make it part of the strategy, because if it isn't, as soon as something happens in business that causes the strategy to need focus, then it gets forgotten because it's off to the side.
As we come out of the pandemic, where does diversity rest for a board? And I'll be honest here, most board members won't do full interviews. They run in the opposite direction at the thought of having to go on the record on some of these things. But if I look at post-pandemic, sustainability, crucially important, the goals, crucially important, diversity, crucially important. But is there a danger you overload the board's agenda?
Again, if you make these elements part of the strategy, then it's not an extra piece. It's just an extension of where you should be focusing anyway. On my boards, ESG, environmental, social, and governance, is typically where these elements fall. And it's important to set not only targets, but then actually to hold companies accountable to achieve the targets that they set for themselves, and to make sure it's part and parcel to how people are rewarded and supported, right, as they execute.
Good to have you with us. Promise me you'll come back as the year moves on, so that we can talk more about it. It's something we follow closely on this programme, and we need to hear more about it. I'd be grateful to have you back.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks so much for having me.